Let's take a look at Sodom and Gomorrah. Is it true? The Bible gives us a clue to the location of Sodom and Gomorrah in Genesis 10:19. It says, "And the borders of the Canaanites was from Sidon, as you come to Gerar, unto Gaza, as you go unto Sodom and Gomorrah, Admah and Zeboim, even unto Lasha." Biblically, their locations sequentially formed the border of the Canaanites. Also in Genesis 19, verses 17 to 20, Lot pleads that he might flee for his life to Zoar, a little city not far from Sodom and Gomorrah. God grants him his desire and promises not to overthrow Zoar, even though it's in the midst of the destruction. Zoar's location is historically well known. It lies at the southern end of the Dead Sea. You can see the map here. In 1960, archaeologist Paul Lapp found a cemetery on the east side of the Dead Sea. It had approximately 20,000 bodies near Bab el-Dra. Since that time, it has been estimated that 1.5 million graves are located there, indicating a very large and thriving population. Approximately 3 million pottery vessels were buried with the deceased, along with traces of wheat and barley, dates, plums, peaches, grapes, figs, pistachio nuts, almonds, olives, pine nuts, lentils, chickpeas, pumpkins, flaxseed, watermelon. Skeletons from the graves indicate an average height of between 5'9" and 6'4". Obviously, the inhabitants benefited from such a varied and nutritious diet. This is the evidence the region was just as the Bible describes it. So what happened? The area is now covered in ash and unsuitable for growing anything. It's completely desolate. These Google Earth images demonstrate the difference in color between the surrounding landscape and what could have been the destroyed cities. Again, see the contrast in color between the surrounding geology and the ashen mounds and unusual shapes. Are these buildings of ash? The area is filled with evidence of thermal ionization. This occurs at temperatures above 6,000 degrees Fahrenheit and is the swirling effect created when highly charged particles are repelling and attracting one another. It's obviously evidence of the intense heat that's even capable of vaporizing metal. The ash consists of calcium carbonate, a grayish limestone, and calcium sulfate, which is a whitish sulfur or brimstone and limestone. It easily breaks away into your hand. And are these walls architecture in ashes? Streets? Are these the front, sides, and back of a building with 90-degree angles? Is this a building and a conical tower? Doorways with an arch and pathways? Sphinxes? Another sphinx. Notice the unusual white color setting it apart from its surroundings. A conical ziggurat. More ziggurats. Temples or places of worship. What about windows? In Genesis 19:24, it says, "Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord of heaven." Evidence of the fire and brimstone is still there. There are millions of pure sulfur balls embedded in the ash and what is clearly burn rings around them. These sulfur balls, when scientifically tested in the laboratory, turned out to be 98% pure sulfur. This is not found anywhere else on Earth. Volcanic rhombic sulfur is a crystalline form of sulfur and is no more than 40% pure. The sulfur from these locations are truly unique. Are these charred human remains? So we ask the question, is the account of Sodom and Gomorrah true?